What's going on, everybody? It's September 12th, 2022. It's episode 8 of the Daily Logs. And today I'm going to be covering the trade that I took. I posted it on Twitter, so you guys can go over there. At my Twitter, I have the link in the bio, so please go ahead and follow. I have a lot of updates on there as well. I try my best to get the updates in the community tab, but I'm not so quick to do it. I'll definitely make sure to get better at that. But looking at this picture here, this is what I posted on Twitter. This is just the live entry here of a live trade that I took on US 500. I'll go over the model today and what happened. I was able to capture right around 20 points. Right at the tail end here was about 23, 24, something like that. And I went ahead and took partials along the way and eventually got stopped out of break even. I was basically 90% off the table here. I just wanted to see if we could run a little bit lower. And overall, I was wrong on the direction of today. But that's why taking profits, that's why understanding you're not always going to meet your objective target overall as much as you think you're correct in your analysis. Just because you know the algorithm, you're not always correct, okay, guys? And even me, I've been trading Ict-Concepts for close to 3 years now, and I've been trading overall for close to 5. Once you take the ego out of it, and once you just start being systematic about everything, your progression and your consistently profitability will definitely increase. So enough with that. Let's go into today. Let's look at the daily chart. If you guys have been keeping up with the logs, I had a Zoom call yesterday live, and I went over price action, what I was expecting price to end up doing. So we drew up even higher, which is pretty interesting to me. I'm really excited to see how tomorrow plays out. We have this volume imbalance now from the opening, so this is something of interest. Either A, we fill that, so we just come back the other way, but the structure to me, I don't want to be too early, but this looks incredibly bullish. So I'm curious to see if we reject off of this order block here. And mentioned yesterday, I highlighted both of these up close candles. So I was looking at the tail end here and then the opening of that order block, and we came right into it. And that's the reason why I sold off today. I was expecting bearish prices, at least on the daily close, and we ended up not getting that. So looking at a 4-hour chart, I annotated this fair value gap, and I said I wanted to see price dig into the 25 or maybe equilibrium. If we get above that, like I said yesterday, that is a concern for me. The reasoning being is I'd rather see the fair value gap stay open as a breakaway gap. So I'd rather see it just spike up into it and then go lower. But the structure to me, looking at it, I think things can either go sideways. There's a lot of possibilities. We have news tomorrow. I mean, today was a great move, so I may just sit on the sidelines and wait for a more clear analysis, but maybe by the morning things will clear up. But as of now, I don't really know. So that's my bias currently. Going into the 1 hour, today we dug up into this 1 hour fair value gap. Yesterday, I noted this fair value gap here. So keep your eye on that. See how we react to that fair value gap. Same goes for this fair value gap. The equilibrium of that, I would rather it stay underneath that. If we start to get above that equilibrium, it could be signaling us we could be going higher. So let's dig into today and the reasoning why I took the trade. Okay, so I actually wanted to post this in the community tab. I didn't get to it. But yesterday I wanted to post, pay attention to the opening gap and how do we utilize that. So we went ahead and closed it. I thought we were going to run out these relative equal lows on a 5-minute, but we didn't. rallied higher. Then we came back into the opening gap and used that as support to send price higher. This was all before New York session, so it's pretty interesting to see play out. Looking at my trade and the reasoning behind it, we dug into this 1 hour fair value gap. We dug into the 4 hour fair value gap. We dug into the daily bearish order block and the weekly fair value gap that I mentioned on the weekly review. So all of that was leading to me that we could be bearish overall on higher time frames, and we're meeting higher time frame PD arrays. So to me, I thought maybe the market could be shifting bearish. I was actually wrong overall because we obviously expanded higher and took out that high, but that doesn't mean you're not able to profit. So looking at today, I don't want to use the replay button, but I don't have to. This is why annotating higher time frame PD arrays and knowing exactly where you're at in the market is so key. We punched into that 1 hour fair value gap. Even ICT tweeted about it. He said, note it. So I went ahead and looked at it. He's basically giving you not a signal, but something to look for your model to form around. So once we came up into that fair value gap, we displaced lower. This displacement wasn't enough for me to really want to get in. There's nothing in this displacement. Even on a 1 minute, there's no fair value gap. Right, so there was nothing here for me. Then I saw this displacement again. I was looking at this fair value gap because it was going from swing high to a swing low. It was in a premium. So I was okay with this fair value gap. I also had the order block marked up. I didn't expect price to come up this far into the order block, which is why just letting your trade play out. I was watching it happen. I was actually just, I took a break from looking at the charts and I came back and I was just standing up looking at it. And I was just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I didn't really care. It was 7 points. I thought it was a great trade. I remember the younger me would be looking to pull out of that trade. I was like, oh, well, since it's already came up to 90% of the order block, I'm just going to pull out. It has to be invalid. And sometimes, like I said, as much as you think you know about these markets and the algorithm, sometimes it can work in your favor when you just let the trade do, not even the trade itself, just your trade management. Let it do its job. Let your money management do its job over a period of time. You don't really have to force so much of your will on these markets. Just wait for your model. As simple as this. Set a limit, walk away. And as soon as I have alerts now, I used to not do this, but I have alerts now that go to my phone, even my Apple Watch. If I'm walking away from the charts, I'll get an alert that either A, I'm in the trade, B, it's moving towards my stop loss, or C, going towards my take profits. And that's usually when I'll sit down at the charts and I'll start looking at, okay, potential places to take partials. Because again, my overall target was actually the sell side here. I thought if we really move aggressive here, we could potentially start heading into these relative equal lows here. I was wrong overall because we dug into this order block here, dug into that BISI. So it's interesting to see that play out. Looking at a 2-minute time frame, we've been following along. I have on my left a monitor that really just monitors the 1 minute. I was looking at this fair value gap. I was going to the 2-minute as well. The 2-minute fair value gap, once we reached into that order block and we displaced lower, I really wanted to see price not come up into the premium for me to really like this trade. So we came up to that fair value gap, displaced lower. As soon as I saw this displacement, I knew for a fact we were going to at least take out these lows. And price just had some really nice speed. And if you can see from my post, I was able to just take profits. So I took profits underneath this low, and once we expanded again, I took profits. And one more time, I took profits right down here because that's another sell side liquidity pool. We went ahead and ran that out from my entry. Let's go back out to a 5-minute. It was right here. Overall, it's just about 20 points. Very happy with the trade. 2 hours, all you need to pay the bills. I wanted to go over another reason why price ended up going lower. If you look at US 30 during that time, US 30 took out its high here. So that is making a higher high while US 500 is making a lower high. And then that was US 100. And then US 30 during that time, US 30 was making that lower high here. So that was really, really weak. US 30 could have sold off of this fair value gap here, the order block right here, went right to equilibrium of that order block. So if you trade US 30, to me, that's a really, really beautiful trade, even compared to US 500. So that's SMT for you and how you utilize that while you are in a trade or looking to, obviously enter into a trade with your model. So that kind of just confirms things. And once I saw that, I saw the displacement on a 1 minute and I saw that 2 minute fair value gap. I was like, okay, I'm at least in the right area. So I started looking to take profits. I was targeting actually on US 500. I don't know if this is on ES. I don't believe it would be, but we had this little volume imbalance, like right from the opening, we just gapped higher. So I was looking to target that, fill it in. And that was my partial. I had one running to target the sell side here. So that's going to be it for today, you guys. Tomorrow we have CPI numbers coming out right in the morning. I believe that's right before the opening of New York. So please be careful. Either A, sit on the sidelines, or B, wait for the news to unfold and see if your model forms and just keep your risk really low. Okay. Good luck and good trading, guys.